So how's the pardon being received among Democrats in the US?
Well, it's been a mixed reaction. There's the political reaction, and then there's the public perception. Through the political party lens, there have been some Democrats that have come public and expressed some disappointment, viewing the pardon as a contradiction to the party's commitment to justice overall. However, there have definitely been surrogates who have gone front and center saying that Biden was absolutely justified in this decision. The public sentiment is also mixed. There is the overall perception of the erosion of trust. Folks have written using the media as a tool to share their disappointment, again, as this loss of trust and accountability in the justice system. But there are also folks who are being very supportive, right? People who empathize with President Biden's position as a father and believe that the pardon was well justified in a compassionate act. So it's been a mixed reaction within the party itself, politically as well as publicly.
Okay, as a Democratic strategist then, where do you sit?
As a strategist, I'm always focused on damage control and how can you reframe the narrative so it doesn't look as negative as it is. And so one of the things that I would be looking forward to is trying to figure out how can you ease the fallout politically so we don't fall into that simplified narrative of this is just hypocrisy. And that would be, an opportunity for Biden to really mitigate these negative optics by demonstrating a broader commitment to justice, by making more pardons with folks who have faced similar or more severe legal challenges than his son, such as, minor drug offenses or over-sentencing. But that way it would shift the focus to systemic justice rather than just a personal favor for his son. And another opportunity, again, as a strategist is there's an opportunity to really emphasize rehabilitation and redemption through pardons. And this, again, it's a win-win when you're able to highlight the cases of individuals who are in need of this. And again, by issuing these pardons to individuals aside from your son, it really kind of helps reframe it from a father doing a son a favor, as opposed to a man using his role as president to signal a broader justice reform agenda and really focusing on rehabilitation and redemption.
Okay, just speaking to that a little bit more, do you think he could even pardon Donald Trump to lessen the sting of what he's done?
I don't see that happening. Politics is politics, and I would dare say redemption only goes so far through the political lens here in America. Of course, everything is possible. I do not see that as being likely, though.
Okay. Could Donald Trump then pardon himself when he comes into office next year?
I can certainly see him trying. I do think that there would be legal arguments for or against. I would not be surprised if he were to put into motion asking questions if he could. And again, it is up to the job of constitutional lawyers to figure out those loopholes to make him to make it possible, or for him to say you have to find another way. But I would not be surprised if he tried.
Are there precedents, Na'ilah, for presidents pardoning family members or friends before they leave office? Has this happened before?
Yes and no. The negative optics have happened because there has been precedent for former presidential administrations issuing pardons that have looked very, very bad. For example, Trump himself had pardoned Charles Kushner, who is the father of his son-in-law, Jared. And so that also, again, ties into this debate about, close personal or familial ties. Bill Clinton pardoned his half-brother in the earlier part of his presidency, so there was a lot less, I think, media scrutiny and drew a lot less attention. But again, the argument can be made about nepotism. And our most public example goes back to Gerald Ford pardoning Richard Nixon, his predecessor. Again, making that argument that critics say if this is a political favor, which undermines justice. So while not as explicit as a father pardoning his son, there is precedent for presidents making decisions that have had very negative optics along the lines of what is happening here in America today.